and we will be going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It is currently 69 degrees outside. We got a high of about 87 today, so that's not too shabby. It's going to be pretty nice, comparatively speaking, to how it's been over the last couple of days, for sure. So, with that being said, traffic conditions going in Tulsa are pretty fair right now. So, again, no real traffic congestion for you. I guess nobody drives anymore, so your commute's going to be just fine. So, with that being said, no real changes to the local events calendar. So, we're going to jump right into our little. I don't even know how to broach. I guess we call it. I think the title that you came up with was Democrats appeal to or pander to
Low information voters.
Low information voters or uninformed voters. So
Yep.
that's the truth. I mean, there's a reason why Democrats want to change the voting age to 16. You know, I didn't know jack squat about anything when I was 16.
Yeah. And if you did know, if you were highly informed about politics at that age, nobody liked you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. So we just it's scary, you know, like, I mean, I think they should raise the voting age, to be honest with you. Raise the voting age and raise the drafting age to like 21, 25, because you're not even fully developed until you're 25. But no, the Democrats, they want to treat children like adults, but, you know, a part of me thinks that's more of a ploy to give bad people, you know, people who are attracted to maps, people who are attracted to minors, easier access to them, because kids are always going to vote themselves more rights. Always. I mean, kids will be like, oh, I'm old enough and smart enough to drink beer. I'm old enough and smart enough to live on my own and do my own thing. It's like, not really, but, you know, that's what they're going to convince them. And then if you convince kids they can vote their own, you know, vote, more power to them, you're just going to give the MAPS, the minor attracted persons, more access to your kids. So, scary stuff, man. But anyway, Democrats are pretty desperate right now, okay? So, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a streamer. So, he's a Kick streamer. So, it's like Twitch, but it's Kick. It's just a different streaming service. But, you know, you stream video games on there, or you can just do live streams. You know, the world of live streaming services is really kind of wild, and this is not the direction I tend to go, but I mean, like, you can play games on it, but like I said, you know, there's a difference between men and women on these sites. That guys were a little box, like you can see this little box right here where it says like, share, subscribe. Like, that's how big the guys are, and they're playing the game. The game is the focus. And you have girls, and they're wearing very low-cut shirts, trying to get young boys to tip them money by, you know, wiggling and stuff, and saying, oh, I'm so good. But, yeah, you know, it's just the difference between guys and girls when it comes to these streaming services. And they even have just services where it's just, what is it, like in IRL, like just live show. Like, they have, like, bikini hot tub streams where girls literally just sit in hot tubs and talk to young prepubescent or adolescent boys who just like, hey, tip me money and, you know, I'll do a dance or something for you. It's pseudo, like the Hub, or, you know,
It's
pornographic website type stuff.
It's basically, the step down from making adult
it's a strip club, except, you know, they don't get naked. They just dance in their bikinis for young boys. So we're just kind of making you aware of like what these streaming sites have turned into. It used to just be solely gaming, and then it turned into in real life stuff, and then it turned into bikini hot tub streams, which I think they've kind of cracked down on, but I think there's still some weasel loopholes that girls kind of do. So we'll see. But with that being said, Aiden Ross, who is a big Kick streamer, did a live stream with Donald Trump, and he had 600,000 people watching him live when he did his little live stream with Donald Trump. And they did some him and Donald Trump dance together. He actually gave Donald Trump a Cybertruck that had his defiant fist rise moment after his assassination attempt in there. And it's cool. I mean, and that's, you can't buy that kind of publicity. I mean, that came organically. I mean, people will probably be like, no, Trump probably paid him to do it. It's like, no, there were kids there. There's another guy named XQC or something like that who is a Canadian socialist, essentially, but he was there just because he wanted to meet Donald Trump, too. So, I mean, you can't tell me a socialist went over there to go meet Donald Trump because he was paid. No, he went over there to meet Donald Trump because he just wanted to meet him and, I mean, potentially clout chase, I guess, or, that's what they call, I'm sure you guys understand what clout chasing is, but they want to get famous or they want to get more exposure by going out there and be like, oh, I can get a whole slew of Trump's voters to start watching my videos and watching my streams.
And I have the image of Trump hanging out with Aiden Ross
Yes,
right there
yeah,
at that new cyber truck.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, and I mean, again, 600,000 live concurrent viewers were watching Aiden Ross live. Yeah. That's amazing. Again, Fox News can't get that many people watching, congruently. That's amazing. You can, I mean, every single news platform together probably doesn't have that many people watching live at one moment.
Yeah. And the fact is the differences between this guy invited Donald Trump on because he supports him, whereas as we're going to find out here in a little bit, Democrats have kind of the opposite method of
this is what's so cool is like, Trump is like a magnet. People want to be around him. They like him. They want to be involved. People organically come to him. Democrats do not have people organically come to them. Everything they do is manufactured. Even Obama was a manufactured candidate. You can say that because he was so well manufactured that people eventually started wanting to come to him, which is true, but it was manufactured. Donald Trump is all organic. So now Kamala Harris is going after streamers now.
Well, truth is Biden's been doing it for a long time. Like, he started at the beginning of his presidency, as we can find out in a couple of the clips that I have. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Kamala Harris is following suit, trying to match the energy that this little podcast, or whatever you want to call it, came off with. And we've got the kid that straight up has turned her down like 10 times already.
Yes. So Kamala Harris is desperate for some attention. Why don't you play that Steve Buscemi clip? This is Kamala Harris trying to relate to all right, give me one. Yeah, hold on. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen 30 Rock or seen the meme of Steve Buscemi, but it's pretty fantastic. So just imagine Kamala Harris as Steve Buscemi in this scene.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
So that is Kamala Harris and the Democrats trying to relate to this Gen Z right now. They're like, hello, fellow kids, I'm one of you. And it's like, no, get out of here. You're crazy. So she has gone out and she's trying to get a hold of what's this guy's name? He's a really popular streamer.
Kai Senta or something.
Guy Syntax.
Kai.
Yeah.
Kai
Sentai or something like that.
Hang on one second. Let me pull it back up on the primary screen here.
But she is been basically texting him nonstop ever since Aiden Ross did his stream with Trump. So she goes, we need to get a live stream going together. And he is not happy because he's been to the White House before, but he's not a super political guy. So he just kind of went for the heck of it because he was invited and realized that he's just not really big into the whole political stuff. And now the Democrats are desperate to capture the same kind of magic that Trump captured with Aiden Ross.
Yep.
So just kind of you can watch this video and check out his reaction to him being
TikTok
bothered
said
by
this is the
Kamala
link
Harris.
from everyone's bed to her fridge. Let me try it.
My bad. I screwed it up.
Harris to leave him alone. Ever since Donald Trump and Aiden Ross did their live stream together, Kai has been alleging that almost every single day Kamala is texting him, saying that she wants to link up so they can do a stream together. And Kai has made it very clear that he wants nothing to do with her. In fact, at one point, Kai totally lost it and started slamming on his keyboard because he was so sick of talking about this. And nearly everyone in the comments was agreeing with Kai, saying the best move is to not do this. And others are making jokes that she's gonna try and collab with iShowSpeed next. Kai Cenat is begging Kamala Harris to leave him alone.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, but as you can see, after the little
Ever since Donald
with
Trump and
they're
Aiden
trying
Ross-
to, they always try to match whatever the Republicans do something good. They try to match it and then like top it, and it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it's just desperation. It's like, oh, well, we can capture that same magic. And the Democrats have major connections with publications, with streamers. I mean, you have to remember, what's her name? AOC did a live gaming thing with Among Us with basically all the top streamers in the land.
Yep, I remember that.
And it was a big deal. I mean, she had a ton of people on there, but like, I mean, what did that accomplish other than publicity for her? Nothing. It's not like she did anything for her district by doing that. And again, it wasn't organic. It's not like people said, "Hey," it's like she floated this idea, and then all these streamers who wanted clout jumped on board. They're like, "Oh, I love AOC. I love socialism. I love all this stuff." It's like, no, they don't. They just love money, and they love the idea of getting more exposure from AOC's audience.
Yep, exactly. They're trying to go for the youth vote.
And again, AOC's audience is not her district. AOC's audience is the greater socialist Republic of America.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
It's not
communist.
Yeah, it's not her district. Her district, I mean, she barely wins her district. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, but and then here is more evidence that Biden has been doing this for a long time, since the start of his campaign.
Presidency, young voters actually handed him very high approval ratings as he took action through the American Rescue Plan, including stimulus checks, and signed a bunch of executive orders in line with progressive priorities, things like addressing climate, lifting the minimum wage, etc. Young voters are supposed to be the bedrock of the Democratic base, and they're supposed to be the emerging coalition, which given time will swamp the Republicans. And yet, there are signs that the Biden team realizes they got a major problem with the youths, and they've cooked up a game plan to try to force Biden love on millennials and the newly politically powerful Gen Z. The plan is both pathetic and gross. Here are the details as reported by Axios. President Biden's not yet official bid for re-election will lean on hundreds of social media influencers who will tout Biden's record and soon may have their own briefing room at the White House, Axios has learned. So apparently, guys, the White House is working to do with influencers what has long been done with the mainstream press, which is to promise them access in exchange for favorable coverage. This is the corrupt heart of access journalism and a key reason why the mainstream press, cable news in particular, handles mainstream political figures with such kid gloves. They're more interested in maintaining their White House Christmas party invites and off-the-record briefings than they are with actually doing their job the way that they should. Well, now Biden is looking to astroturf some online enthusiasm by the same promise to influencers of goodies and proximity to power. According to Axios, hundreds of these so-called influencers are already working directly with the White House. About 24 were invited to a White House State of the Union watch party. The White House is also moving to give them a dedicated press briefing space so that they can maintain more consistent communication.
That's good. So this isn't even very good journalism on their part. I mean, more has come out.
Heather Cox Richardson, she's the wildly successful.
So that's not even good journalism on their part. Like, we actually watched a video from a guy called Nuance Bro, and he put on an hour-long expose of what's this kid's name?
Of Harry Sisson.
Harry Sisson. So
he's about to have a little clip on this one. That's why I was trying.
Oh, okay. We'll go ahead. So we'll kind of I'll brief you on who Harry Sisson. You can just kind of fast forward to that point, and then we'll watch it. But Harry Sisson is a little kid who is a TikToker, and he basically is a shill for the Democrats. Like, he's like, I don't get paid, but he does. That's why I said this isn't really good journalism. All these influencers are getting paid. So Harry Sisson is getting paid. Now, it's not directly from the Democratic Party, but it's through Democratic foundations that are pseudo adjacent to them. Like they go, these are PACs.
Like these are organic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that we just talked about. Like, whereas that Trump one was organic. Like, that guy invited Trump on and gave him a Cybertruck. The Democrats are the exact opposite. It's, we're going to subvert and make people think that this kid here, this Harry Sisson,
is genuine and real.
Genuine. He came up out of nowhere. It's like, no kid that's a social media influencer is that political. If you've seen the most popular social media influencers, they are hardly ever political. They're never political. They're always like jokes or pranks or something.
So these kids are getting paid by the Democratic Party. Again. So this is what's scary. And they're not just getting paid by the Democratic Party. They're getting paid by massive corporations who are in on this as well. So they're well-funded. I mean, so Harry Sisson's one. He probably makes the most money from the Democratic Party. But Brooklyn Dad, Defiant, I'm sure you guys have seen his posts on Twitter. He gets paid $10,000 a month by the Democratic Party to post nonsense. Now, I'm sure he pseudo-believes what he says because I'm sure they found him because of a lot of his political views. But now they're paying him $10,000 a month to do it. It's like, yeah, just make a couple of posts and make sure they're anti-Republican and they're pro-Democrat. And again, it's like that. This should change your perspective on these people. It's like, oh yeah, I love if you're on the left and you're like, I love Brooklyn Dad Defiant, it's like, well, he's getting paid $10,000 a month to make those posts. It's like, hey, imagine the people who pay you going, hey, you haven't made your posts yet. Make sure it's on, which is why he's been on Defiant L's so much. There's a page on Instagram and Twitter called Defiant L's, and it's where they'll say one thing and then they'll screen cap that and then they'll show a tweet from today, and it's like it's the opposite of what he said a year ago or 10 or 5 months ago
or 5 days ago.
It's embarrassing. Like, it's literally Defiant L's. It's like you are a liar and a loser, and you're just a paid shill. And that's it. Brooklyn Dad Defiant is on there all the time. Yeah. But again, $10,000 a month just to make some tweets. How nice is that? I can't imagine a lot of you could do a lot with $10,000 a month from anybody.
But anyway, here we go. They're about to bring up
go
Harry
ahead.
Sisson kid.
Young Dem political TikToker. Here, presumably, are some of the cringe dividends which are already being reaped from this program. Take a listen.
See, this is exactly what leadership looks like. Earlier today, President Biden met with the 3 Democratic representatives in Tennessee that Republicans voted on expelling. He met with them, he thanked them for fighting for democracy, and he invited them to the White House. See, unlike Republicans, President Biden actually supports democracy. And he's not going to just sit by and watch Republicans do these crazy radical things like expelling Democrats for supporting gun control. Thank you to President Biden and these representatives for standing up for democracy and standing up for America.
But judging from the comment section, not clear that Sisson's Biden propaganda efforts are really succeeding here. Some comments are supportive, for sure.
Again,
others say things like this. What a joke. That's what leadership looks like? Oh, brother. When kids love warmongers, how heartwarming. Let's not forget the Willow Project, and the meat writing is crazy. Anyway, you get the point. I guess I've just come to expect that corporate media is co-opted, self-interested, and biased, but it's really kind of gross to see supposedly independent creators seduced by the explicit promises of access from a corporatist like Joe Biden.
Money
it's
and
also
power.
a perfect window into the roots of...
But that's about it on that. But I've got the next one, the expose by Nuance Bro here, and he just absolutely crushes it, like exposing Harry Sisson and his kind of counterpart in this, which his counterpart's kind of fallen off the rails now. I never hear about his little counterpart, but when they first started, they were the dynamic duo of Batman, of the Democratic Party's Batman and Robin.
Yeah, in TikTok influencers, yeah. Make it quick though.
So if you've been on social media in the last few weeks, especially political, Twitter, or TikTok, you may have come across one or both of these individuals, Harry Sisson and Chris Mowry. Harry and Chris are the new kids on the block when it comes to political influencers, and they are on the left. But they're not the type of online fringe leftists that you see, like Antifa types or communists or tankies and things like that. These young men portray themselves as establishment Democrats. And if you haven't seen their videos, they usually go something like this.
Look, America has a sickness, and that sickness is our obsession with guns. If you're someone who opposes gun control, or has 50-plus guns in your household, or is giving guns to your 2-year-old children, you're part of the issue, and I have no problem saying that. Other countries are looking at us like we're insane because of our gun culture. And I want to make it clear, I have no problem with people wanting to defend themselves. But we have glorified these weapons,
we'll prove in this that it is completely manufactured.
And that glorification has prevented any real change. We need more gun control now, or tragedies will continue to occur.
As you can see, this video comes from Harry Sisson, where his tweet says, America has a sickness, and that sickness is our obsession with guns, with a finger pointing down. And as of this recording, it has 1.3 million views, 5.6 million impressions. And if we go to Chris, we can see another video about gun control.
The message to all the Republicans funded by the NRA, and this was inspired by a
Chris,
fantastic paper written
yeah,
by
this
Chloe.
is the one that's
Let me tell
fallen
you
off
something.
the radar.
Gen Z has sat by and idly watched as our friends and our family members are killed in schools, and a gun epidemic has overtaken this country. We have sat by and we have idly watched
these kids that don't have any loyalty to the Democratic Party, that are just Democratic paid Democratic shills. Like, he'll see Harry's career take off and he'll flutter and not make as much money. He'll come out and he'll attack the Democratic Party eventually. Be like, hey, I can't pay my bills anymore, therefore I got to shill for somebody else. So, I mean, you can't trust people like this.
It also depends on what type of contracts they signed and what non-disclosure agreements that they've signed too.
You took away his right to be safe in school and grow up with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I promise you, you should be scared for 2024, because we are coming. We are coming.
And as you can see, the tweet says 2024 will go just as well for you as 2022 did. Good luck. And he's actually quote tweeting Donut Operator because he made this tweet before with this video, but for some
Donut
reason he
Operator
deleted
is
it.
the AK guy.
Because Donut
No,
Operator
no,
said,
he's the cop. He's the
"Where'd
former
your tweet
military
go?
cop
You
guy.
can't
That's
attack
right.
the 2A community and not expect us to say something back." And you can see here, Donut Operator is responding to Chris's deleted tweet, which had that video. And here he offers a screenshot. And you can see me here with this reply responding, "Okay, but Harry denied to me
being able to have something to always protect myself."
Sorry.
Okay.
of Gen Z for Change, which I found strange because
And
if you
this
go
is
to the
Gen Z for Change
YouTube
is
channel,
the organization he's a part of. That's a paid
Yeah, that
DSD.
funds
Harry,
him. That pays him.
who, if he wasn't a creator for Gen Z for Change, why did they write creator Harry Sisson, hashtag Gen Z for Change, hashtag Gen Z for Choice, hashtag Roe v. Wade?
Picture about abortions being circulated online a lot, and the scary thing is it's true. It says the treatment for an ectopic pregnancy is abortion. The treatment for a septic uterus is abortion. The treatment for a miscarriage that your body won't release is abortion. If you don't get those abortions, you die. And as I said, the scary thing is all of this is true. An abortion is treatment for all of these things, and if women don't receive it, they will lose their life. I don't think pro-lifers understand how dangerous it is for women to not have access to safe abortions.
And you might say, well, maybe they were just featuring a creator they agreed with or something like that. Well, you can see in this podcast from V Interesting with this very well-known creator, V Spehar, who, by the way, was at the same influencer TikTok White House visit as Harry. As you can see here, I think they brought me in as a fairly independent, attempting to be nonpartisan creator who did not vote for Obama, said V Spehar, host of Under the Desk News, a TikTok news channel with 2.7 million followers. And you can see in this picture, it references V Spehar. And you can see in this podcast, July 8th, 2022, V says, this week, V is talking to Gen Z for Change activists who utilize social media to educate their generation,
Sisson's on
encourage
that
and mobilize
list, as you
civic
can see.
participation. V sits down with leaders, Victoria Hammett.
So this isn't
Olivia
organic at
and
all.
frankly, for the right wing, it's embarrassing. What do you see that's comparable on the right wing when it comes to this sort of stuff? The amount of networks that the left has and these donor groups that fund all these people is incredible. I mean, look at this event that Harry was introduced at recently. The Town and Country Philanthropy Summit of 2022.
It is the companies that believe and support this mission. Thank you. Thank you, Bank of America Private Bank. Thank you, Gulfstream. Thank you, La Prairie. Thank you, New World Development. Thank you, New York Presbyterian. Thank you, One Hotels.
He's speaking at an event that's sponsored by Bank of America and Gulfstream Jets. This is the private jet company that all the billionaires buy their private jets from. When was the last conference you saw conservatives get sponsorships from mega corporations like this?
I am so pleased to begin this
we'll
summit
stop here.
by introducing a man
They'll
who,
just
when I
show it when
began
he
this
comes
role
out, the
6
kids
years
that come
ago,
out.
took the time to sit down
At an event sponsored by Bank of America and Gulfstream Private Jets, a General Dynamics
Boom.
corporation.
There he is, right there. Very end. He comes with a little speech and everything.
My name is Harry Sisson. I'm 20 years old, and I grew
So
up
this
in both
kid is
Dublin,
not
Ireland,
organic.
and
He has been
Westchester, New York.
lying to everybody about
I hope
not
to bring
being a
attention to
Democratic
climate change,
shill.
which is an
He
existential
is a
threat
part
to
of this
not only
crap.
America.
He's been a part of this crap for years now. I mean, this is back in 2021. So that goes to show you how long this ruse has been going on.
Yeah, I mean, this kid has been paid by now hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to facilitate a lifestyle and to shill for the Democrats. I mean, this is what they do. I mean, funded by Gulfstream, funded by Bank of America. These influencers, these TikTok influencers, they're not organic. They're not real. So you're watching these people manipulate the next generation of kids. Thank goodness a lot of kids just aren't into politics, thank God. But again, when like you're pumping Harry Sisson, it's like, wow, he's famous for what? For no reason, for no good reason.
For yelling at his phone for TikTok.
Yeah. So there you go. This is what the Democrats do. Like, this is why they win the culture war, is because they fund all these PACs. They fund all these organizations that are not organic, and they astroturf thought or avenues of thought for your kids.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have it pulled up at the moment, but I mean, we can go and look at how how Hollywood and what's it called? The music industry treat Democrats versus Republicans. I mean, think about what's it called? We talked about it before. What's that one political show? Leslie Knope. I forget what that's called. Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec. How they treat the Democratic politicians on the show versus how they treat the Republicans. Is like it's always a Democrat. First of all, it's always a Democrat, and two,
the Democrats are played as angelic, like perfection, like wow, like I mean they can solve every problem, and then the Republicans are always played as the joke.
Yes, exactly. And like I said, the same with the music industry. The only music part of the music industry that you could argue that conservatives have is country music.
Yeah. And we don't even have the most popular country music singer. She's really pop now, but Taylor Swift, clearly a Biden voter.
Yeah. Well, she would argue she's not country anymore. She's pop. But yeah, she used to be country.
Yeah. So it's, conservatives, we have no connection to pop culture, the real world. The only things we have are the counterculture, which is things like, Tom McDonald, that rapper.
Yep.
You got the Daily Wire. You got Tim Pool, and Tim Pool's not even right-wing or conservative.
Yeah.
You got all these countercultural influencers coming up, but again, they're all suppressed. They're all shadow banned. I mean, this is why none of this organic growth, there's no such thing as organic growth for someone on the left. It's all astroturfed. It's all held up by Facebook and all the moderators on Facebook who are all left-wing.
And the only thing, and Democrats have been trying to bust in on sports and athletics for years, but they can't, their policies can't cope with athletics because athletics is a merit-based system.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you can't change that. You can't change it. I said, that's why Democratic policies don't work with sports and athletics is because it is a totally merit-based system.
It's the same thing. You remember back in the day whenever they were like that it was the openly gay NFL player, right? Remember like he was trying to be manufactured and pushed to the front, to the limelight.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even that good of a player. Like don't get me wrong, he's way better than I'll ever be. Like, he's a fantastic athlete at the college level, but he was nothing at the, again, he was draft pick number, 197 or 96 or something like that?
Yeah, it was up there.
People turn off the TV at that point, but they had cameras in his house. They had cameras, people, they go, oh, what round's he what number's he going to be?
And then he kissed his boyfriend.
On live TV, yes. And then it's like, what happened to him? Nothing. He was in the league for a year and a half, maybe. And the team that drafted him just drafted him because, this will look good from a PR standpoint.
Yep.
It's like they're trying to manufacture, and that's the only thing they know. That's why the BLM stuff took off within the NFL so well. It's because this is something that they control within the narrative. They can control this. Same thing with that gay guy. It's like, this is something that we can control and we can sell. But again, he didn't sell because he did not perform well in the league.
Yep.
You have to perform well. This is why people like Odell Beckham Jr. and, Tom Brady, they sell because they're phenomenal athletes, they're great spokespersons, and they're good with PR.
Yeah.
But you can't sell stuff that people don't care about. And the vast majority of people who watch the NFL don't care about homosexuality. They don't care about gay.
Yeah.
They don't care about BLM. They just want to watch the best of the best
play.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. And that's why Democrats still have a hard time breaking into sports because they can't because of how their policies are. Said they're all about equity, diversity, and inclusion. Well, if you've looked at any sports team, they are seldom equitable, they are seldom diverse, and they are seldom inclusive.
Yeah. It's usually a very specific group of people that are very good at that particular sport. Like for hockey, it's a ton of athletic white dudes. For basketball and football, it's a lot of black guys, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like nobody bats an eye. It's like, okay, yeah, the best go. The best go. Like, if you're the best white guy at football, they're going to draft you, like Tom Brady.
And that's why, I forget what it was, that some preacher was saying that. He goes, if you can't apply it to, if it's a law that you can't apply to sports, it's not a good law because it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But yeah, that's about all we got for you today. We just kind of wanted to expose the tomfoolery of the Democratic Party and this astroturfed TikTok influencer thing that they've got going on. And it's sad that Kamala Harris is trying to reach out and be like, come do this live stream with me or else, it's like that poor guy's like, I don't want to do that. Leave me alone.
Yeah. 100%.
So there you go. It's just sad. They can't recreate the fire that Donald Trump creates. But that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. We are signing off. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.